Hello, everyone. Happy Monday to everyone here tuning in. Thanks for taking your time. Charts, more in particular, the Bitcoin chart. Gonna do a real quick audio and beta check since I'm testing a new computer today. So things in order, right? I'll look for a confirmation and then I'll start because my usual on the very last minute, and it's gonna work hopefully. I think it is. All right. So all right, now we're cooking. It's currently up 1 point. There's been some rumors that Germany sold half of his stock today. Not us for today. They're just holding less than half of what they had on today. Was the largest selling from the German government. So that was while we probably were creating this Darth Maul candle, because we were pumping into New York Stock Exchange open, and then just 1 hour after Wall Street started trading, we saw a large dump on BTC. It was actually this candle. And if we go even to lower time frame, like to a 10-minute candle, you'll see that candle right there. And even this one was just one clip of selling from the German government. So, and as from then, pretty much Bitcoin has been trading sideways, recovering a little bit. So that's pretty nice. And you're getting back above inside of the range that we lost yesterday. We've been on. You cannot be quite confident that this is going into higher prices until you flip 60K at least, and then this complacency at 63K will be another important test. But if you can see the title on the video, it's Bitcoin's bullish divergence of a confirmation low here in the RSI, and you have a lower low on price and a higher low on the RSI. It's really clear and real. So maybe that turns into an opportunity and maybe higher prices. I don't think you've seen such divergence on the RSI for Bitcoin since a long time. Going back into 2020, maybe here in 2019. Let's check out the price. So maybe here, this one, yeah, like this divergence in December 2019. Look what it turned out to be, just somewhat of the bottom, and then another 7K all the way up to 10K. So that's your daily divergence on BTC. Still valid, still playing out. You don't have that same structure on MACD because you don't have the valley just yet built on. What I'm meaning here is that you don't have any positive bar here on the histogram to confirm the divergence. You didn't have a pause on negative momentum, but you do have it on USDT dominance. You have the bear dip on the MACD, but you don't have it on the RSI. I'll show higher high, but you do have the bear dip possibly starting to form on the histogram. So take that with a grain of salt. And also falling back inside of the range as for yesterday. So BTC working on your lowest daily candle close since yesterday, printing negative momentum, but weak negative momentum as for now at the 34 point level on the RSI. So deeply within the bearish control zone on the RSI, but just coming out of that oversold and possibly putting somewhat of a double bottom on the RSI. So interesting, to say the least, after this relentless selling that's been going on for weeks and weeks. Maybe you start to carve out a bottom into a bounce that we're gonna have to play level by level this time, because you have a lot of overhead resistance. It's not like it's not like when you were at 70K or at like 65K, you didn't have much resistance above to go into price discovery. Now you have a lot of inflection points going into the tops, and a lot of people, I've seen a lot of despair. A lot of people are calling that the cycle's over, that we're going much lower, and we're just on 56K. I think that's the proper flush that you would need on the 10 line in order to go into higher prices. Expecting all-time high to happen real soon. And I remember all the grind up from last year. You did had a lot of resistance above that we started to overcome level by level. So maybe we do something similar going into all-time highs. And you might wonder, like, hey, Pitbox, why are you still bullish? And like we talked about last week, the daily time frame is bearish. You're putting lower lows and lower highs. The weekly time frame is still bullish. The monthly time frame is still bullish, and the higher time frames like the 2-month, 3-month, and 6-month, honestly, they look primed for upside. So, plus we're on election year. They might cut rates later this year. The stock market has been ripping. So it's hard for me to flip just a perma bear here. I'm neutral to optimistic, if you could put it that way, just because on how the larger time frames looked. Granted, you can go way low, mid 40s and whatever, and the weekly structure wouldn't be completely lost. But on the grand scheme of things, I think that on 3 months from now, we will be trading higher than these levels, in all honesty. So that's your BTC. Bitcoin dominance. We've been talking about this tandem on Bitcoin dominance. Whenever Bitcoin just nukes, you get an uptick on Bitcoin dominance, and whenever you get a bounce on BTC, you exactly what's been going on. And I've been debating whether this is an inverse head and shoulders, or maybe distribution, 3 falling peaks, yada yada yada. So I'm not gonna play it hard. Gives me, just for now, on today's price action, this could turn into another lower high regarding this high, and start targeting again the breakout line from this 3 falling peaks classic distribution. But on the other hand, we talked about the 3-day on the MACD. It looks somewhat of a inverse. Then when you get that confirmation, that's when you start getting interested in the pattern. And it started building negative momentum once again. So maybe the pattern is not going to get formed or not even confirmed. But you do have 2 more days for that pattern starts to develop even further. Won't be pushing any higher. The other thing is, if we get that push higher, I think it's gonna reverse somewhat here, because it's a quite strong inflection point from the past. You did somewhat get a stab at it on mid-April, but these are my thoughts on Bitcoin dominance. It's just at the 47 level on the RSI, pretty neutral, and printing a weak positive momentum on the MACD histogram as for now. Let's go to USDT dominance. I've been looking at this chart a lot. in the past, you have a potential here confluence on the RSI, but on the MACD histogram, you might form a bearish divergence here because you have a higher high momentum on the MACD histogram. But you need more data, most definitely, in order for this to get confirmed. You need to start heading lower on the momentum and maybe get a red bar here in order to confirm the divergence. But you to fall below, this will be considered oversold. I mean, overbought, bounce on crypto. But we have to take what the market gave us as for now. And you had a bullish engulfing candle yesterday that didn't catch any follow through as of today. You were catching follow through on one point of the day, but then you're just leaving this 2 wicks here to the upside, making me think that hopefully this is somewhat of a local top, at least locally on the MACD. I mean on USD. Let's go to Bitcoin to the SPX. So Bitcoin against the SPX also has that divergence on the RSI and also on the MACD histogram. Because on Bitcoin, you didn't have this green bar here, so you couldn't form the divergence, but it's very much real here on Bitcoin against the SPX. You need a little bit more of data in order to not get excited, because this another large negative momentum could just take out this divergence, but you could somewhat start thinking into a triple divergence here. Yeah, that's nuts. So, but on this case, you just fell below the bottom of the range here. You couldn't make a recovery, possibly having a back test as resistance. And you do have that 20% target move from the breakout line to the downside of this 3 falling peaks pattern. But it could get somewhat underperformed since it has a you do have this somewhat of a bearish retest, $7,450 and almost $48,400 today. So there is somewhat of a seller's argument here for continuation regarding today's price action. Maybe if it closed red, I will be way more way more concerned. But you still have that bullish divergence there, so maybe it's gonna be all hope will be lost, because you're trying to fight to stay above here this mid-range, and turned out this whole thing to be a failed breakdown, and hopefully with bullish consequences. Let's go to Ethereum. It's outperforming BTC today. It's up 3.23%. It's also fighting at an important level here. You'll see this level here. I'm gonna map it right there. It's gonna depend on what Bitcoin does to bar. You don't have that pause on the negative momentum, and you also don't have that bullish divergence on the RSI. So we're just gonna depend on what BTC does, in my opinion. SPX all-time high, kind of close today. Wow, what a doji. Highest daily kind of close in the history. My God. Look at what stocks have been doing and what Bitcoin's been doing. My God. Deviation, I mean, the couple down only for BTC. So From here, BTC that just did that, or more or less, and the stock market just kept reaping higher. I wonder what happens when the stock market has pullback. I don't even want to know what Bitcoin might do. Okay, DXY for now building negative momentum on the MACD at the 45.5 level on the RSI, so it's neutral. There isn't much to say. Rather than that this could be just another lower high regarding the high from okay. Let's take a look at some altcoins. Solana, it's up 6.37% on the day, below the 144 level here. This complacency shoulder. So if you want to see some good price action on Solana, you just need to stay above that level, but above $122, which is also very important here. Inflection point, just up and down territory below that level. So if you lose $120, your next target might be 80 cents. I mean $80, not 80 cents. That would be way too cheap for sale. Some people might like it. We had a bearish engulfing candle yesterday, and now today just recover most of that candle and about to put in 31 more minutes a daily candle close above the 200. Just in double bottom here. It's just gonna depend on what BTC does. Building strong positive momentum on the MACD histogram, and at the 48 point level on the RSI. Solana has been just one of the strongest coins. I'm gonna have to redraw it later. Never mind. But that's your strong coin for Solana, and so BTC up 4.83% on the day. Look at this, chat. What a bounce from the 200. You had a bearish engulfing candle yesterday, now a bullish engulfing candle, and maybe about to invalidate this whole hitting bearish divergence on the MACD histogram, printing a strong positive momentum on the MACD. Jesus. That's what you want to look here. We talked about failed bearish breakdowns having consequences. You had this head and shoulders potentially here. This is the neckline. You couldn't have a breakdown and since July. Up 2.94% on the day. And look at this. You did a higher high regarding this high. So that's maybe, because this wasn't a higher high. This one is maybe a higher low after. I don't know when this rally is going to end, but then when you get a pullback, you might want to see for bullish continuation for Solid, and potentially this whole distribution, wake up distribution schematic will be just out of the window if you start to see higher highs and higher lows. You already had the higher high. So interesting, really interesting, building positive momentum on the MACD histogram. This bullish divergence continues to play out. Immaculate lower low on price, higher low on the histogram. Maybe this is what you get on BTC, hopefully, from the bullish divergence. So beta, Jupiter is up 5.7% on the day. You had a nasty bearish engulfing candle yesterday, so you're recovering some of it. just your lowest daily candle close since last Sunday, since yesterday. Building positive momentum on the MACD, but not strong enough. Just light green. And on the 41.93 level on the RSI. So creeping up from the bearish control zone, just leaving the under 40 point level. Control the market, and potentially here creating a confirmation low from the low on Friday. It's just all of this is pretty much the whole performance from the market. It's so tied into what BTC does at this point. And you do have this bullish divergence here on the RSI from this low to this low. Render just flat on the day, up 0.6. Same dilemma with Jupiter. You don't have that bullish. I mean, you do have somewhat of a bullish argument, a bullish divergence here. It's not that clean, but it exists. So same dilemma with Jupiter. It's just but in this case I would say it's worse. You don't have the 200 moving average created on Jupiter just yet, but in this case you had a formal bearish retest to the 200 once you lost it, and then had this big impulse down. So this has been downtrending on the daily, and maybe finding support at a critical area from history here. That all-time high, and that complacency from here, and a daily candle close. So could get somewhat interested. I mean, could get somewhat interesting, but I'm just not interested on coins that are having a hard time now against the daily 200 moving average, in all honesty. Pepe creating somewhat of a comeback today, not enough for a bullish engulfing candle. You have bearish confluence on the RSI, but you may start to create a bullish divergence argument on the MACD histogram here if you're able to hold and reclaim possibly the 919 level here, which was confluent with the 618 retracement from lows to highs, and that whole line in the sand from the pump in late May that actually was back tested as support once. I think that's, whoops, I'm a little bit messy with the tool divergence on the MACD histogram. Plus, this coin is already, how down is it? It's like 45% from the highs. Anyone who bought up here is just decimated by now. 40% drawdown. What are we talking about? ENS, it's up 16% in a day. It's having quite the recovery. Bullish engulfing candle. Actually, this just above an accumulation range. I don't like that false breakouts, this kind of fake outs that you have at such important levels. But given the recovery that it's had and this bullish engulfing candle today, maybe if you get that breakout once again, it's gonna fly. And your next technical level is at $39, almost at 40 bucks here. If you wanna go for a psychological, quite the performance on ENS today. STX underperforming the rest of the market, underperforming Ethereum's only up 2.42%. Just had bearish engulfing candle yesterday, not being able to recover. You have bearish confluence on the RSI with a lower low, but you might create a bullish divergence on the MACD histogram if you start to print weaker negative momentum and you start to carve out a bottom. Then you have that argument there. Bonk, it's up 13.7% on the day with a bullish 372 out of a penny, portions out of a penny, I guess. And you might start to create this a double bottom. You do have that bullish engulf, I mean the bullish divergence here on the RSI, and you're at the 50-point level on the RSI, so it's quite neutral as for now. But this building strong positive momentum on the MACD. This is a strong coin. Anytime Solana's been reacting pretty well, not like WIF. I think I removed it from my watch list. I have it on a different watch list, but not the watch list that I look at all the time. I like Bonk better here, to be honest. And Bonk BTC, it's up 12% on the day, chat, with a bullish engulfing candle, about to go in for the highest daily candle close since June 12th. Pretty good. Building positive momentum on the MACD histogram. Yeah. I don't have data on the RSI, so I don't know if there's any kind of divergence, but wow. Maybe this was a deviation from this resistance to support flip here. Really interesting on how Bonk has been trading. It's just good Solana beta. Right, let's go to some other altcoins. There's Zero, down 3.25% on the day. A little bit decoupled today from the rest of the market. Granted, it had somewhat quite the crazy pump here from the lows that it may have to chill for a minute. But yeah, going to lower time frames, you have somewhat of a 3 falling peaks, classic distribution here, 3 lower highs and a lower low here, but you couldn't confirm a close before the lane frame is so small that you can't know for sure. I don't think it's done for Zero, honestly. But it does look somewhat scary here on the daily time frame. Let's look at Blast. Blast having the 4th green candle in its assistance, bouncing 3 yesterday. I have no day going for the lowest daily candle close in its history. Being bearish, chat. Like almost every airdrop from this year has been turbo dumped by market participants. And you can tell that the sentiment's so bad that no one today is actually looking at the stream, so on repeat. But crazy on how people have lost interest on crypto. Go to some other Solana beta. So this is Jito. Jito is up 10.15% on a daily time frame. Let's see if we have somewhat of a divergence here. So that's an interesting area. You do have a bullish divergence here about to be confirmed today, chat, for Jito. You have a lower low on price and a higher low on the MACD histogram. And you also have it here on the RSI, which is going for a 40-point level RSI close today. So maybe, I mean, market structure and the chart looks awful. Down here, you're below the 200. Pretty much in the basement out of this M shape here. So maybe if you get somewhat of a type 2, maybe I could get behind that. But trend has been so relentlessly bearish since mid-May, that I'm not sure if I would bid this down here. Even that with the bullish divergence and this confluence with that level, I would need a confirmation low or a higher low for me to get excited. Rhodium also, Solana beta, it's up 5.7%. So I think it's underperforming so a little bit today. Bouncing out of the 200 moving average, that's something I like to see. Since June 26th, meh. Tensor, bullish divergence also on the MACD histogram here. Could be confirmed soon. Maybe all of this cooks, chat, but I'm not gonna run my portfolio regarding just bullish divergence. You know, if the downtrend is too strong, you're just gonna see that bearish divergence get thrown out of the window, just like SPX did here. You had this bearish divergence that we talked about on stream, pretty clear, confirmed, and look at what pushed it higher. Oh, one moment. Don't want to act. No. Okay. So look at what it did here. Like this, if the divergence that got confirmed would have played out, this would have been to the downside. But the bull trend is so strong, the market participants just didn't care and pushed it higher. So that's what I'm saying with Jito. You need to show me a better argument with that. I need a structure, a framework on price, and also then maybe I'm gonna position myself. Otherwise, just you're on the roulette. Not on one bullish engulfing on on Saturday. Then yesterday sideways and today sideways as well. So the bullish engulfing is still valid. You have a bullish divergence here on the RSI. So maybe you get a bounce. Maybe. I think there's other Solana beta that looks better, in all honesty. In all honesty, chat. What's this? Bonk against what? Bonk against Solana. Look at that. Up 7.6%. At this 54-point level on the RSI, printing strong positive momentum on the MACD histogram. This hitting bullish divergence continuing to cook. Going for the highest daily candle close since July 1st. I like what Bonk's doing. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Bonk bull here. If Bitcoin can give a bounce, if Bitcoin don't find its footing anytime soon, everything's gonna rock. You hear that, chat? I'm gonna come real close here to the mic. If Bitcoin is not able 56K, everything's gonna rock regardless. Okay? And I don't know what Bitcoin might do. So take everything for this stream with a grain of salt. This is just straight up hoping that we're smoking here. Just speculating on where you could have a reversal given the fact that the high time frame looks so good. If the high time frame didn't look so good, I would be like, this is a bear trend, dump it. Like, I'm not gonna even entertain a bullish case. But even all of the other facts and things that are going on in the market, the U.S. election, the rocket, the rate cut that's gonna come from the Fed, and the high time frame charts on BTC, I'm going to entertain an idea for a bottom where we have a bullish divergence and where you have had a significant drawdown already in price, and most market participants are calling for the cycle to be over. although on the daily it looks really bad. Below all inflection points here, you're just hovering above no man's land, trying to get back above this structure. But if you fail, you're going to low 50s, and then 48K, and then we'll talk. But it's already a big trend. So anything we say about altcoins is just gonna have to be studied with that perspective, okay? All right. Let's go take a look at some good performers. Optimism up 7%. Arbitrum really underperforming today if you compare it to Optimism. Everything's mostly green. For the highest daily candle close since June 27 to here, but from this low to this low, you have Confluence printing a big histogram, going for the 45-point level on the RSI. But you're in a deep downtrend here. It's hard to have a bullish argument when you're completely on the basement of the chart, making lower lows and lower highs after the founder defaulted on a loan with a collateralized CRB token loan. You know, Uni had some quite of a bullish pin bar here, printing weak negative momentum at the 40-point level in the RSI. It's just below the 200 level, proven to be real once again. You tested it here on July 6th. Man, quite the bear market these coins have been on. Uni had its high on March 7, and from then it's been just... Although there's been a coin that has been performing properly from the old coins from last cycle. This has been the most hardest bull market to trade on crypto, in my opinion, because you have to be really selective on what you were trading on and looking for strength. And that's why I think on the day, having a bounce out of the 200, bearish confluence on the RSI and on the MACD, no kind of divergence as of now. My God, what an ugly chart. If the 200 holds, maybe. Just maybe, because you were close to an inflection point here. This complacency shoulder here. You tapped it on, when was this? On Friday. Okay. SPX 6,900. Pretty much reversing the entirety of yesterday's dump. Not engulfing yet, but bouncing from this 1 penny level. Like, I'm not gonna say that number, but there is an inflection point here from history. So having a bounce from it, pretty nice. Says up 10% on the day. Divergence on the MACD histogram from this low to this low. It's not even having a bullish engulfing. It's up 10%. It's not engulfing yesterday. The 200. You need more arguments for daily position trades. You would need a higher high and a higher low. If you were to playing maybe a small bounce that you were about to trade in the hourly or any other time frame, be my guest. You might have something there, you know? Yeah, you don't have any divergence. And you just created a higher high, a swing high regarding this high. And you have a higher low here. So maybe if you get a pullback and do another high low, then maybe you can cook on the 4 hour. But on daily, you need more data, man. More data. Let's take a look at Kaspa, because Kaspa's been holding pretty well. Just fighting with the mid-range here of this ascending channel way above the 200. No divergence whatsoever, at least on the RSI down here. But you did have this bearish divergence on the MACD histogram that's still playing out, printing weak negative momentum on the margins. Then I think Kaspa's going to, it's up 7% completely on the basement. Channel had a bearish back test the day after, big impulse down on Saturday. Bullish structure. If this turns out to be a higher low regarding this low, then the bull trend would be untouched. You're building negative momentum on the MACD histogram. You have this hidden bullish divergence on the MACD that didn't play out, so it wasn't a continuation. Maybe the trend is reversing, but who knows? At the 36-point level in the RSI, so deeply within the bearish control zone. More minutes left before the candle close. I'm gonna head into BTC. See if we actually are able to reclaim this channel chat. Not a huge daily volume today, but it's pretty okay, my opinion. We need this chart to dump really hard, chat. If you want to see your coins rip. That's my opinion. You may have completed a bearish retest to the top of this channel here. That would be great. Now, if you roll over below 5.23% and below 4.88, then you will be cooking. You just don't need to be finding support with this 200. It's a slow moving average, so it's going to start slowly curving up, and then maybe if you come tested on, if this is a bullet trend, I don't think you're going to touch the 200 for some time. I think it's just going to shoot up, it's not even going to touch it. It's going to do some stuff like that. But just speculating on what I've seen before, but I don't know what's going to happen. No one knows. That's a real secret, chat. The only thing I can tell you, and you apply it, you have a set of rules for managing USDT dominance. Fell below inside of the range today. And let's take a look at BTC. Had a daily candle close just below above range also. So, but I don't like this. This is making me sketchy here. That back test into this formal resistance. So there you have it. You still have that bullish, the bullish divergence going on. Hopefully, it runs out of coins soon, and some buyers step in order to save the industry. So I've been going for almost an hour. Thanks everyone for tuning in and watching the stream. Remember to leave me a comment, give this video a thumbs up, and recommend the channel to all of your friends that are interested in crypto and or technical analysis. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and thanks again.